Big Dumb Movie is a comedic podcast that often contains obscene language and outlandish commentary. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Big Dumb Movie, where we discuss movies of the big dumb variety. I'm your host, Corey, and I'm joined today with my friends such as Jonathan.
Hey guys, great to be back here.
Film Dylan.
Great to be back as well. Excited to talk this movie.
And Pappy Herman.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pappy Herman. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. Jonathan, Film Dylan. Haven't done a podcast with you guys in a while, so I'm excited we're all back together.
Yeah, it's definitely always great to be on here, so thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. Now we're here today to discuss Big Top Pee-wee, the Pee Wee Herman movie sequel to Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, of course, being the more famous of the movies, but this is the sequel. We're here to talk about maybe not the bigger, but definitely the dumber of the movies. And thinking about this movie, Jonathan, it made me think about you, because I know you were a big Pee Wee Herman fan, or are, and I know that one of your favorite childhood toys, you've talked about this on the podcast, was your Pee Wee Herman doll. I think it was like a 16-inch doll with a pull string, like Woody from Toy Story, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, that was one of your favorite childhood toys, and I know we've talked about this before, but I want to reintroduce the conversation of, like, what are some of your favorite childhood toys? So, Jonathan, since I'm talking to you, what are some of yours? Some that you haven't talked about on this podcast before, anyway.
Probably one of the most memorable toys that I've had as a kid. I didn't spend a lot of time playing with toys and I wasn't an inside kid. I was always outside. So there's this one toy that I got for Christmas was a Stretch Armstrong. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Or do you remember the toy anyway?
Of course.
Okay. So I got it for Christmas. I'm in the living room with my grandparents, my parents, cousins, siblings, whatever. And so we decide it's time to stretch this motherfucker as long as it can go, right? So my grandpa's holding one end. I'm holding the other end. I can't hold on anymore. And we're across the living room. It is what it seemed like.
How
anyway.
many feet?
When I look back on it, it feels like it was probably 20 feet, but I guarantee it was probably like 6 or 7 feet or something.
We'll go with 20.
Yeah, sure. It sounds good.
Print the legend.
Well, I couldn't hold it anymore, so I let go. And that motherfucker had like a plastic body on it, and it flew back, hit him in the chin, knocked him out cold onto the floor, and he wakes back up, and he's like, Jack and Diet Coke and a cigarette now. Anyways, that was one of my most memorable toys. Great Christmas.
And you served him a cocktail.
Yeah, I'm like 4 years old getting my grandpa drinks and cigarettes.
The substance inside of Stretch Armstrong is amongst the most mysterious things man has ever created. It always felt so weird and disgusting in there, and you just wanted to rip his head off and get to it.
Yes. Now, I do remember Stretch Armstrong very well. I'm particularly fond of the Vac Pack line from 1995 of Stretch Armstrong figures. Cryo Ice Claudius is kind of my holy grail of toys I'm looking for. It was only sold in Greece, but somehow the US got some shipments of it, and I got one of them when I was a kid, the blue Cryo Ice Claudius. That's super nerdy. I'm going to move on. Film Dylan, what are some of your favorites?
Well, when you asked me this, Corey, it immediately brought to mind this thing I used to have. Are you guys familiar with something called a Perplexus? Have you ever heard of this?
No, this does not sound like a 90s action figure.
No, it is not a 90s action figure. Basically what this was, so I was very much I was a big Marble Run kind of kid, I liked Marble Run train sets, like things like that. So the natural evolution of that, once I got to maybe 10 or 11 or so, I don't know why I'm thinking this late in my childhood at that point, but this is particularly memorable for me, was the Perplexus, which I got for Christmas one year. It's like, picture a plastic ball. It's probably about 10 inches in diameter, so kind of sizable. And inside is like this 3D plastic maze, and there's a marble sitting in the maze. And basically, like, you rotate the giant glass or, plastic sphere in your hands, to navigate the marble around all these obstacles and maze paths. But it takes a lot of finesse. You make the wrong move, the marble falls off, and you kind of have to start over from whatever your last checkpoint was. So anyway, I slave away at that thing for probably weeks, which, I wonder now if I sat down and did it, if I would just knock it out in like 10 minutes. I'm sure it's way easier than I remember it being, but it was hard.
No hands.
Yeah, I just use some telepathy on it. But
Just Jean Grey that bitch, yeah.
But I finally beat that thing, and then I was met with the realization, like, oh no, I'm sitting here, I've got it in the end pocket, but you now have to keep it in this position for the marble to like stay at the finish line. And I want to proudly display this thing, so I had to like very carefully transport it upstairs, and it comes with a stand, and I put it on the stand, and it's sitting there, and it's like just fantastic. I finished it. The next day, I like walk too aggressively past it, and I just hear the marble tumble to the ground, and I just lost everything I did. I didn't beat it. And so I was like, you know what, that was a moment where I could have been very discouraged. I went back at it. I kept chipping away. And like Sisyphus and the boulder, I must have finished that thing like 5 times, only to knock it down walking past it 5 more times, just again and again. So it was sort of the bane of my existence, but also very satisfying to beat. And now since then, there's like 23 renditions of the Perplexus, including a pretty sick looking Death Star one. So maybe I need to get back in the game.
Yeah. That sounds very cool. You know what, Film Dylan? That sounds exactly like what I pictured you playing with. You're like Egon from Ghostbusters, when Bill Murray's like, didn't you ever have a slinky as a kid? And he's like, I had one. I straightened it.
I work only in the abstract, Korey. Yeah.
I'm going to talk about something a little bit different, because normally I go into like very specific 90s action figures. I've talked about Mighty Max on this podcast. I've talked about Skeleton Warriors. Talked about my X-Men toys and my G.I. Joes. So I'm going to scrap action figures altogether and just bring up something that was so glorious, and it was Nerf guns in the 90s. Nerf guns are still around. They're a little bit excessive when you see them. They're like all Gatling miniguns, like and shit when you see them at the store. Like they're always trying to like outdo each other. But there was like 8 different models of Nerf guns when I was a kid, and some of them were good and most of them were bullshit. So if you had a Nerf war, if you didn't have one of the good ones, you were pretty much fucked. I did have what is debatably one of the good ones. I had the bow and arrow, which, had pretty good impact, pretty good pressure, but it only had 3 arrows, and they were really specific niche Nerf arrows. And it's not like I could get additional ammunition at the store. It was kind of before that was really a thing. So I had this bow and arrow. I could get off 3 shots, and you got to go pick up the fucking ones you shot off or find them or whatever. And by that time, you're already getting blasted. So it wasn't super successful in the Nerf game. But there's a couple other Nerf guns I want to mention, because one of them is ridiculous, and it's called the Secret Shot. The Secret Shot was a Nerf pistol that fired 1 shot in the barrel, but there was a secret shot that it also fired underneath the handle. So if you pointed the barrel upwards to the sky, you could shoot from the underneath like the handle, underneath the trigger. And the idea in the commercial was like you surrender. Like you say, I surrender, and you put your hands up in the air, then you have a secret shot that you can shoot at your enemy.
That's so pussy.
But that only works once, maybe, if they haven't seen the commercial.
Yeah.
So it was really lame. What ended up happening is you ended up shooting them with the regular shot, and then you always had to like lift the gun up to shoot them with the other shot, so you can get like a double tap on someone. Now, my cousin James had the Ballzooka, and that thing was the most dominant Nerf gun in the 90s. The Ballzooka was a fucking Nerf machine gun that shot Nerf balls. It had a lot of ammo. It was insane. It was also featured in a video game. I think it was like Earthworm Jim or something. So the Ballzooka was epic. So just a quick shout out to Nerf guns. What do you think, Pappy? What are some of yours?
Man, that's a murderer's row of 90s toys. Also, I should say, I have my bow tie on, and I actually, like a child, Korey, am suffering from hand, foot, and mouth disease right now. So if I sound a little weird, I feel like it's like the most baby thing a grown man could be diagnosed with. It's like I was on the playmat for too long at daycare or something. But I remember being that size and loving my Fisher-Price castle. I may have talked about this many times before, but there was a Fisher-Price castle and accompanying CD-ROM that came with it. I also had a cassette tape with the Fisher-Price castle, but I just love the trapdoor the cannon. I think part of my trapdoor broke, actually. I also had the Fisher-Price Pirate set. A couple other ones. We had one growing up called an Air-Zuka. And what you were mentioning with like Nerf guns and stuff, Korey, reminded me of that. It's like I don't know how to explain it, like a big tunnel, and it had like a parachute at the end that was taut with bungee strings. You would pull back the strings and it would shoot like a pillar of air that was actually like pretty powerful. It could go like from one end of the mall to the other, what we saw in Chicago. So that was pretty cool. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I think those were like a little before my time, but my grandparents had those, and it was always so fun. I feel like there's a lot of jamming, like in and out, like with those two, trying to get away so your head didn't explode. But the last one I had was Skip It. My sister was a Skip It girl, and I had it, and it's like the least accurate counter that's ever been put on a toy. Like it would just make up a number, the number of skips that you did, and it was also kind of like a weapon you would see in like Jugger or some game like that. It's like an American Gladiators type ankle breaking weapon. Lots of crying after skipping in the driveway.
Yeah, I think we've talked about Skip It before. Supposedly, according to the commercial, the very best thing of all was that there was a counter on that ball.
Skipping and a screaming and a bop to bop. But the very best thing of all, there's a counter on this ball.
Try to beat your very best score. Look at you, skip a whole lot more.
According to Pappy, that was a lie. That is not the very best thing of all.
Well, the counter didn't actually count how many spins or revolutions it went around. It counted how many times it impacted your fucking shins.
Yeah. Skip It. Yeah, it wasn't very good. Kind of reminded me of like Ribbon Dancer. Just like a really gimmicky kind of like commercial toy that once you get, it's like, this is nothing.
I feel like there was a lot of toys in the 80s, 90s that they made for kids that they experimented on us with like pushing how far they could be liable for injuries. Like I used to have these other things they were called moon shoes. Do you remember those where you strap your shoes in there?
To be able to like jump.
Yeah, you had like mini trampolines in each shoe. Like
did nothing.
I can't imagine that kids weren't just ripping their feet off left and right with those things.
The ankle breakers, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Could you dunk with those? Could they actually make you jump high?
You felt like it because you were already like 6 inches off the ground standing in them, but I guarantee you didn't jump any higher. It's all about perception though, right?
There's a whole generation of kids with early onset arthritis in their wrists from Bop It, Twist It, Pull It over and over and over again. One of the most obnoxious sounding toys ever made.
I'm pretty sure you don't need a Bop It to get that early onset arthritis in your wrist if you're a boy.
Well,
true that. Speaking of, we're here to talk about Paul Rubens. Also known as Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee Herman, who was famously credited as himself in his movies and shows back in the day. You know, Paul Rubens truly embodied this character, and there was many forms of media with Pee Wee, right? There was shows, there was the improv group that he came from. I think it was called the Groundlings. And of course there were movies. Pee Wee's Big Adventure came before this movie, a couple years before, and it was a huge hit. Came out in 1985. Pretty small budget. Tim Burton's directorial debut, $7 million budget. Ended up making bank, $40 million. So, of course, a couple years later, we got this sequel, Big Top Pee Wee, with a way bigger budget, $20 million budget. Did not make even. It only made $15 million. But let's talk about this movie itself. Pappy, can you take us into Big Top Pee Wee?
Big Pee Wee guy, Pappy, myself, is. Enjoyed Big Adventure, loved the TV show, but you've never seen Paul Rubens, Pee Wee, as Frank Sinatra on stage in a sparkly suit. There's a bit of like Hard Day's Night with all of the women like throwing themselves at Pee Wee. Apparently this is really Paul Rubens singing his song as well, and it's very confusing if you have no context for what this movie is going to be. I will say, I've never heard that voice come out of Paul Rubens. Guy's not a bad singer. I kind of liked it.
Swinging through my dreams,
Yeah, he's up there on stage, right, in a sparkly suit. I think it's pretty clear if you've seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure that this is a dream sequence, right? It's kind of following the formula of the first movie. Although I think this dream sequence kind of informs Pee-wee's character a bit less than Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just kind of here.
He flies at one point. It's like, if you don't know if it's a dream, when he takes off into the sky, there's a good bit, like I said, so after he sings, he does like the whole Hard Day's Night thing, but he dresses up as Abraham Lincoln, and the girls are impressed that it's Abraham Lincoln until they realize it's Pee-wee, and then they lose their shit.
It's Abraham Lincoln! May I have your autograph, Mr. Lincoln? Oh, thank you so much. I'm such a big fan of yours, Abraham.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's Pee-wee!
I do think that's kind of funny, though, Pappy. Like, him trying to hide from his fans by being in a costume, so he dresses as Abraham Lincoln. And then one of the women asks for his autograph. Like, oh, I'm such a big fan. And he's like, thank you. Until his beard falls off, and they realize it's him, and they just mob him, right?
We'll get to this, but like I said, I love Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He has Dottie, who likes him, but it's relatively like a sexless relationship. In the show, he never even hits on the most beautiful woman in Puppet Land. You know, it's a very platonic relationship. This Pee-wee fucks, and this Pee-wee is getting chased around by girls, and this Pee-wee is horny. And it starts off with his wet dream here.
Yeah, this is a really horny Pee-wee movie for sure.
It is. We tend to cover the horniest of the 80s and 90s movies on this podcast, I think. Now, Pee-wee wakes up from his dream, and he's not in his same home from Big Adventure, is he, Film Dylan?
He is not living in the same place. No, he is in a far more sterile, a far more bland location. Look, I don't want to be the guy that consistently compares this to Big Adventure. I feel like that's a dangerous trap you sometimes get into with these sequels, but it was on my mind throughout the entire movie. For a couple reasons. I did manage to rewatch Big Adventure yesterday, and then watch Big Top for the first time, I should mention, today. So it was very fresh in my mind, the comparisons. And I also came to Pee-wee pretty late in my life. I didn't see Pee-wee's Big Adventure until a couple years ago, and it worked like a charm on me, not as a kid, but as an adult, which I think speaks to the quality being put out by Burton and Rubens there. And everything here just feels so bland in comparison. I mean, you look at the house that he's living in Big Adventure, it's the oversized props, the frame is filled to the brim with toys and trinkets, and there's just so much visual detail. And here I'd be hard-pressed to tell you any special feature about where he's living besides the fact that there's a whole lot of animals roaming about, doing some tricks, getting up to some antics, nothing too spectacular. There's a chocolate cow who is milked with chocolate milk. There's a groundhog or a gopher stealing carrots, but I don't know, it all feels very first drafty compared to kind of the visual splendor of where Pee-wee is in the first installment of his movies, right?
I definitely agree with you. Not as good. Although he does wake up next to J.D. Vance, his pig.
Vance, wake up. You'll be late for school. Vance!
You got Vance the pig, who we later will learn can talk, but not quite yet, right? Because we're still just seeing where Pee-wee is and what he's doing. What's he doing, Jonathan?
Well, he's got to get up and make his rounds, tend to the animals and pick his veggies for the day. I do want to actually touch on one thing Dylan talked about, which was the carrots being sucked into the ground by the little gopher or whatever. I thought that was a really cool touch to the cartoon vibe of what they were trying to bring, I think. That scene just sort of really stuck with me. The way he was just picking carrots and then they were being pulled out from the bottom underneath.
Pee-wee Herman had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, with a and a here, there, everywhere. Pee-wee Herman had
But as we kept on going, he's got to go in the barn and wake up the animals. It was cute, I guess, the way every farm animal sort of had their own bed. They were tucked in at night. They got up. He had everybody or every animal make their beds again after they got up. It's absolutely ridiculous, but I mean, it was still kind of cute.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It was cute until it got disgusting when he started feeding the baby birds. Ugh.
Yeah, that was a little much. For context, he eats what they try to pass off as an actual worm, but it's a gummy worm, and then starts mouth feeding these baby birds. It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, he does the Ace Ventura too, right? Where he's spitting it up in their mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he makes breakfast for all his pets. It's kind of cute, but it's not super interesting, you know? And I do want to add that this is the first Pee-wee movie I saw. So I think it's kind of remarkable that I stood by this character as a kid. Because it's not great. It's just mildly cute, but not a whole lot going on quite yet. There's more to come, of course, but I think the intro is kind of important in a movie like this. And I think the intro in Big Adventure does a lot. And the music in the first movie is a little bit better, although it is the same composer. It's Danny Elfman again. But a little bit more interesting in the first with the visuals and the music. I mean, everyone remembers the breakfast machine, right? And that's right smack in the middle of the first movie.
Yep.
But also the first movie is really setting up his bike in that dream. And I don't know what this dream's doing, Pat. What's the purpose of that whole dream where he flies and he's a star? You think he just wants to be big time in the circus?
Yeah, I mean, he wants to be famous. I think probably like moreover, he wants to be well liked because everyone in the town hates him, and
they do, don't they?
For some extent, it's like good reason. You know?
There's like 4 people in this town, and every one of them hate him so much.
Well, let's talk about that in a little bit, because I think I have some specifics to get into in that realm.
I was going to say, though, Korey, with the table and the animals and everything, we recently did a podcast on the 90s Jungle Book, and I was like, it was like breathtaking at times, but like, oh shit, dude, this guy's really next to a tiger. That's crazy. When I was seeing the shot of like all the animals at the breakfast table, I'm like, this is a lot of work for a shot that's like not that good and nothing funny is happening. You know what I mean? To like get all these animals, and like they always say don't work with kids or animals. It's like, what's the point of all this? I thought it was going to be a circus movie. Why the fuck are we on a farm right now?
Yeah, there's like 8 animals in the frame with Pee-wee at one time. That must have been very difficult. Not to mention Pee-wee is later in the same frame as a real lion. And like we talked about in the Jungle Book, you don't see that anymore, man.
That was cool. Yeah, I like that. But this is lame.
Yeah, this intro was just excessively long and going nowhere.
Look, Vance, the calla lilies are in bloom again.
Now, Pee-wee, after he serves breakfast, he makes his way into his greenhouse where he has, I think he's chemically engineered fruits and vegetables, right? He's a bit of a mad scientist. Am I reading that correctly, Dylan?
I'd say that's the right interpretation. Yeah, I was immediately baffled by this plot point. I was like, where could this possibly be going? Which I guess is good. There's some intrigue there. I'm surely this will get paid off somehow, and I really am struggling to see how. But it was quite the immediate pivot to see him cooking up stuff in the greenhouse.
I assume he made some chemical that allowed his pig Vance to talk when I was a kid, and I think I kind of stick by that. That's the one animal of the bunch that can speak. And the way it's filmed sometimes, it almost makes it seem like that was an afterthought. Like they added lines for the pig later, maybe. Like maybe Pee-wee was just saying stuff to the pig, and then later they decided, let's make the pig respond. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's also the only animal that's inside the house as well.
I'm very satisfied with these results, Pee-wee.
Me too, Vance. If we keep going at this rate, people will only have to buy 1 tomato a year.
We do not want to end up with a low potassium level.
Duh, Vance. You'd think I never went to agricultural junior college.
Sorry.
It's so off-putting, his voice. Why is it that voice that they give the pig?
Sorry.
It is just very husky and aggressive somehow. I don't know. It was when it first started, I was thinking it was sort of the like Pee-wee doing a ventriloquist sort of act, because he does that a couple times in Big Adventure, like kind of, muttering under his breath in a different tone. And then I realized that we were going with the talking animal angle, and I just was confounded by this.
Like Mr. Breakfast or whatever?
Exactly.
Maybe that was just, maybe his dream that we saw in the intro was a sub-dream, and his pig is talking, and he's still in a dream. This whole movie is a dream.
I think what separates this, and I do want to compare it to Big Adventure, because that is one of my favorite movies of all time. Think about, like, within the first 20 minutes or so, all the characters you meet, like, who are extremely memorable. Francis, Madame Ruby, Dottie. Like, here all we have are a bunch of old farts who hate Pee-wee and a talking pig. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot then of Pee-wee. He needs... In his playhouse, he can talk to his fucking chair. Everything's talking to Pee-wee there, right? Like, here he's just kind of on his own. It's weird.
Very good point. So the next thing that Pee-wee does in this movie is he makes his way through town to go meet up with his, what we later find out is his fiancée, Winnie, for lunch. And this town is very different than Pee-wee's Big Adventure as well. It seems like it's this old 1885 Hill Valley town. Like, when he's walking through it, first of all, everyone's just glaring at him. Like you guys said, they don't like him. And we'll see him interact with them more directly later. But there's like a fucking blacksmith. Like, I mean, I don't know when this is supposed to be set, right? But some elements of it tell me that it's not quite 1988. Maybe 1888.
There's a general store. There's a one-room schoolhouse. Like, when does this movie take place? And why is Pee-wee dressed like that with his lab?
It took place on the set of Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pee-wee makes his way down to see Winnie, who is the school marm, like Pappy said, for his lunch date, which he has a lunch date with her every day, right, Jonathan?
Yeah, apparently that's the only thing on his calendar of importance, because that's what he's got written down. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because obviously you find out that it's a love interest, and apparently they hook up at lunchtime while the kids are out on their recess or whatever. But Pee-wee gets there and immediately just tries to get horny with her, like every chance he can get. He's just, it was kind of off-putting because when you compare it to Pee-wee's Big Adventure, there really wasn't like a romantic interest that was aggressive aside from him loving his bike. But in this film, I just got this vibe right away that he was just trying to get laid as often as he could quickly into this movie, and it was very off-putting.
Yeah, the thing about Big Adventure with Pee-wee and Dottie, who's his pseudo love interest in that one.
Yeah.
The thing that I thought was cool about Pee-wee in that movie is that he's almost like too cool for women, you know?
Right.
Like, women like him, but he's like not super interested because it's like, he's like kind of above that in a way.
He's a loner. He's a rebel, Dottie.
He's also just very clear on the fact that his mission in life was to get his fucking bike back, you know? Like, that was really his pride and joy. If a woman wants to come along and join him in that mission, fine, but his priorities were straight.
Yeah, his priorities are very different here. Like you said, he immediately jumps on Winnie. Like, he tries to go to Pound Town, and all the kids are watching. They're right there.
Yeah.
It's not like they're out playing. They're just like huddled around this.
Yeah, I wasn't really okay with that scene.
Hello, Pee-wee.
Hello, Winnie. Am I late?
Of course you're late, Pee-wee. But I forgive you.
Oh, Winnie.
Oh, the children! The children!
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer. Ah! Paparazzi!
Oh, Pee-wee, really? Now, children!
Did you think it was kind of funny when he did the take a picture, it'll last longer thing?
No.
And they all pull out like old timey cameras with like the flash lens. Like,
I mean, maybe there's value to it just for being like Pee-wee's childish sort of banter, but like when you look back on the way that media portrayed him and the involvements he had in his real life shortly after this movie was made, like you look back on it and you're like, yeah, that's not cool, dude. You just told these kids to freaking take pictures of you banging their teacher. Like, that's, come on. Like,
is that what he got in trouble for? Maybe we shouldn't talk about that. There's two sides to every story, Jonathan.
No, there is. And honestly, I did watch the documentary that came out with him.
I think it did kind of clear
HBO.
up some of the confusion about that.
Yeah, and I very much have a different perspective on things, but
well, give me the what do you think?
If you go back,
what did he like? Where's he at? What did he do?
I mean, obviously he had made a couple of mistakes in his life, but at the end of the day, and we know what those are, right?
The movie theater jerking off, yeah.
We don't even really, the movie theater or whatever. But I think at the end of the day, there was just this very big agenda that was being forced upon this guy that people just didn't understand. And he also just didn't understand himself. You know, he wasn't ready to come out yet back then. It was a very awkward, weird time to do that and stay public and then still want to be able to create. He's very much an artist to the core. And he knew that if he were to ever come out and reveal his true self, that he would no longer be able to make art in the forms that he wanted to, and definitely in a way that would affect his ability to bring whatever those art forms were to the kids, you know, and that's really what meant the most to him.
Yeah, I do like Paul Rubens a lot. So even though like I'm probably going to bash this movie as we talk about it throughout, got a lot of respect for him, and especially what he did with Pee-wee. You know, obviously meant a lot to me as a kid. But we're still talking about him and Winnie here. And, you know, he shows up. He's already ready to go. Right? He's ready to go to Pound Town right there on the lawn.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like, who's hooking up with a non-binary kid in 88? You know, like, I mean, it's very awkward.
They don't see him that way. They see him as a man's man.
That's hard. That's hard to imagine.
Jonathan has trouble with it. Jonathan is a man's man, for those listeners at home, by the way. So Jonathan struggles with that.
I mean, that doesn't mean like I beat my wife or anything. You know,
you are wearing a wife beater right now. Right.
No, I'm not wearing a wife beater. This is a tank top, man. That's totally two different things. This has a silkscreen print on the front and back. Okay.
But the point I was getting to, Jonathan, is that it's really a woman's hair that gets him going. Yeah. Because, you know, he's ready to go when he shows up, but then he sees her hair.
Yeah.
And he gets that crazy fucking look in his eye, you know?
Boy, you sure do have beautiful hair, Winnie.
Oh, thank you, Pee-wee.
May I?
Yes, you may, Pee-wee. Oh, that feels good. Ow! 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 Ow!
Oh my God. That part kind of really creeped me out because he wanted to like run his hands through her hair and all this stuff. And then all I could think about was the Something About Mary scene where she ran her hands through her hair. Cameron Diaz did. And her hair is all sticky and sticking out. And I'm like, and now Winnie's hair is sticking straight out to the side. I'm like, did this guy freaking toss off and like throw a load in her hair? And now her hair's all fucked up. Like, what is this? Did he use her hair to clean his hands in front of the kids? Like, oh my God.
Well, Pappy, did you notice like her moaning while he was rubbing her hair? Like it was meant to mean something, right?
Oh, that feels good.
That's not just egg salad. That's in there, to Jonathan's point.
Oh, exactly. And the other part where the egg salad was like dripping on his face. Like, dude.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You got the egg salad splatter.
Those were egg whites for sure.
For those who haven't seen this movie, I can't underscore like how weird it is, like as he becomes aroused by the hair. In terms of the way it's filmed, it's like a close up of his eyes, and it's like his fucking pupils dilate, and his hand starts twitching, and then he like gets his hand caught in her hair. It's very obsessive.
He goes Manchurian Candidate. He just like locks in on it, like laser focused. It's unsettling.
It's not my Pee-wee.
But Winnie abruptly ends the date. She's a little bit of a prude, it seems like, which I think is why Pee-wee ultimately moves on from her. Not to give too much away, is that she won't put out. So I think Pee-wee's looking for something else kind of in the back of his mind.
Yeah, I mean, she offers dessert after egg salad sandwiches, and what does he do? He jumps on her again. I mean, forcibly puts himself on this woman.
Now, how about some dessert? Goodness, where does the time go? Children!
But once their date ends, he runs back to town, again looking for lunch, because he didn't eat lunch with Winnie. He does not like egg salad, and that's kind of part of the little joke there, but it's not super memorable. So he runs to town to the general store to get a sandwich. He goes to Mr. Ryan's general store, right, Film Dylan?
That is correct. It's a man with one heck of a right eyebrow. It was distractingly angled throughout this movie.
Dude, he looks like a cartoon angry eyebrow. Like the inverted, like just permanent fixed in that position.
It's true, and that's the kind of thing I come to Pee Wee Herman for, to a degree. Like, I like that kind of touch. It's one of maybe the tiniest of silver linings I can think of right now. But one thing that I think works beautifully in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and is maybe like totally crucial to the Pee Wee Herman experience, is like everybody in that movie treats him as basically a normal guy. As ridiculous as his mannerisms are, and as ridiculous as his voice gets, like everybody's still pretty genuinely kind to him, besides like the lone enemies he makes in Francis and Andy and some of the characters in the first movie. But like everybody who's having a conversation with him is like, just treats him as like he's not this outlandish figure. And in this movie, everybody just hates this guy. I mean, he is public enemy number one, as we alluded to earlier in this town. And I think that kind of loses like an important essence, actually, of this character. It's like you're so immersed in his world in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and everybody just like, he just somehow fits like this perfect puzzle piece into all these other scenarios he ends up in, even though he's such his own thing. And here instead, it's just like everybody is like shaming him for being the way he is. And he is a bit of a jerk throughout this movie, as we just established in the previous scene and some other scenes. But he's that way in Big Adventure too. It's sort of like a natural quality of his character. And just the way it's handled here, it's a tonal shift. And I don't know if I'm vibing with it.
Hey, if I told you once, I told you 100 times. I don't want you running around my store, Pee Wee Herman.
Sorry, Mr. Ryan. I'm just so hungry, and I guess I couldn't wait to sample one of those delicious cheese sandwiches of yours. Do you mind making me one?
We were here first, weren't we, Mr. Ryan? I'm afraid you'll just have to wait.
And I'm sure Mr. Ryan isn't going to serve you at all as long as you've got that pig in here. Isn't that right, Mr. Ryan?
That's right, Nadine. No pigs allowed.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Dill. Good afternoon, Mrs. Haynes. I'm so awfully hungry. I'm sure you two beautiful ladies wouldn't mind letting me go ahead of you.
Well, we certainly would mind.
I should say so. First come, first serve. Isn't that the way you've always heard it, Mr. Ryan?
Sure is. First come, first serve.
All right. I'll wait.
In that general store, one of the things that I noticed was he was very much a like 10-year-old kid. Like he wasn't so much of being an asshole. He was, I mean, to me anyways, he was more of like, I'm fucking hungry because I didn't eat this food that my fiance made for me that I don't fucking eat in the first place. So give me a cheese sandwich and a pickle. And you got these two old bitches here that can't make up their mind about making doilies. Like, I'm hungry, dude. Like, when my kids come to me and they're hungry, like, it doesn't matter. I could be solving the world's most complicated math problem that's ever existed, but they want some fucking mac and cheese right now, and it was like, and I really picked up on that young child mentality about him being hungry.
You're fucking on the blackboard, like solving the biggest math equation, and your kids are like, "Make me a cheese sandwich." All I wanted was a measly sandwich.
Dude, I would have beat my kids if they said they wanted a cheese sandwich. Like, dude, go do that shit yourself, you know? But still, it's like...
Man's man right here.
Yeah,
Jonathan
exactly,
beating his kids.
Hey, I'm trying to solve the world's problems here.
That's
you
true.
know?
I'll give you a pass. Yeah, so this is probably my favorite scene in the whole movie, weirdly. But before I talk about it, I do want to reemphasize what Dylan said. In that Pee-wee's Big Adventure, everyone in the town seems to like him. In Big Top Pee-wee, everyone in the town fucking hates him.
Yeah.
And that is represented in this scene clearly. It's like kind of subtly alluded to when he walks through town earlier, and then clearly represented within this scene. Mr. Ryan hates him. He's got the one angry eyebrow. That's obvious. But Happy Gilmore's grandma is also not having any of this shit, dude. She's so aghast by his presence. And so is this other old bitch. And they fucking hate him. They will not allow him to supposedly cut in line, but they weren't really in line. They were just kind of like perusing the store.
Yeah, they're just browsing fabric, right?
Yeah, they were just like, behind, like not even at the counter at that point. So Pee-wee runs up to the counter, which is open. He asks for a sandwich, and they'll take any excuse to not help him,
Now let me see. Have you got any of that lovely Korean lace?
Just come in.
Oh, this is pretty. This would make a nice doily, don't you think, May? What about this for the china cabinet?
Maybe.
All I wanted was a measly sandwich! I very nicely explained that I was starving. I'm starving! Please!
Sorry, ladies. I guess you'll just have to wait. You remember, no one is as important in this community as Pee-wee Herman. All you other shoppers will just have to play second fiddle to Pee-wee. I guess that's just the way things are around here. My whole purpose in life is to serve Pee-wee Herman, and everything else comes second. There's your sandwich. Is there anything else I can do for you, Pee-wee?
Well, I would like a pickle if it's not too much trouble.
No, no trouble at all, Pee-wee. Sorry, Otis. Sorry, Deke. Game's over. Pee-wee Herman wants a pickle. Here's your darn pickle. Are you happy now?
Eventually, he does explode like a dickhead, and Mr. Ryan angrily makes him a cheese sandwich. He's got that cheese right there, not in the fridge. It's just been sweating, all day.
Dude, it literally took him like 4 seconds to make this cheese sandwich. The bread was already sliced. The cheese was already sliced. And he didn't put a mayo or anything on there.
The only people I really feel bad for are the two old fuckers playing checkers in the corner.
Dude, their game got fucked.
Yeah.
That's poor planning on their part.
This is my favorite part. He just flips the fucking board. Oh, you want a pickle? And Happy Gilmore's grandma goes, oh, a pickle. And he just storms over there. Game's over, boys. Flips it over, gets his pickle. It might be the only actual laugh I had.
I love the fit that Mr. Ryan threw in that fucking store, man. But that was kind of poor planning on these old guys to play their checkers game on top of the pickle barrel.
Yeah, someone might need a pickle at some point.
Exactly.
Pee-wee comes here every day at 12:30.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, especially when Mr. Ryan has that butcher's knife and he's like, is there anything else I can do for you? And he's pointing it at Pee-wee anything else, motherfucker? And that's when Pee-wee asks for the pickle. Brazen as shit. I love it,
Listen up, everybody.
What's up, Sheriff?
I just got a call from Porterville. There's a big storm heading this way. You folks better get on home. Smiley, you start boarding up the store.
But Pappy, there's a big storm on the way, isn't there?
Tornado's coming. And it gets a little, I don't know, almost Wizard of Oz-y. Like we mentioned, everyone in town hates Pee-wee, so no one's giving him a ride. There's a truck that's got nothing in the bed. He's like, nope, no room, and just drives off and leaves Pee-wee.
Yeah, they're hoping he dies in this event. This could be a gift from God.
If they only knew what he was doing in his greenhouse, they wouldn't. They might have thought different.
Society needs him for the hot dog tree. I really hate the scene in the basement where he's got all the animals in party hats and they're dancing to music and stuff. That's some baby shit, right? Like that's really dumb.
There's a lot of things in this movie that I feel like are just a waste of time, so it can get to an hour and a half,
which it barely does anyway. But yeah, the big tornado rolls through. They ride it out in the basement, and unlike in Wizard of Oz, where the house is transported to the land of Oz, the good carny folk of the circus have been transported to the farm. And we finally get the fucking big top in Pee-wee. 20 minutes into this 80-minute movie, it becomes a circus movie.
You okay, boss?
Well, my shins are banged up pretty bad. I think my ribs are broke. And it feels like I punctured a major organ, Andy. But I'm a circus. Come on, get me out of here.
Right, miss?
Otto, grab a couple of roustabouts to set these wagons straight.
Yeah, boss.
Andy? Yes? You get over to the cookhouse and see that everybody's all right.
Right, boss?
This your farm kid?
Yep, I'm Pee-wee Herman.
Mace Montana, manager of Cabrini Circus.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Montana.
Film Dylan, the plot has arrived. Why don't you tell us about it?
I don't know if I would say the plot has arrived per se. More so a feature of the narrative. I don't know how much plot really begins here, but a circus does materialize, and Pee-wee kind of helps with some of the wreckage, lifting a wagon off of our leader of the clan, Chris Christopherson himself.
Whistler.
We meet him. We meet a couple other, circus oddities and figures, and just various people roaming around. They've got a mermaid. They've got a strongman. All playing all the hits of a circus, which is where you would expect this movie to start injecting some life in it. But it isn't very. It doesn't have that visual flair that so much of Big Adventure has. I would say. It's not very colorful. It's kind of subdued. It's kind of muted. It's very like textured and brown, which I guess is like authentic enough, but not really kind of that poppy cartoon aesthetic you would hope for in this sort of world. I do agree with what we were saying earlier. Paul Rubens with the real lion is kind of cool. I did take note of that, and I was like, wow, he's really just standing right next to the lion. Maybe some of it's forced perspective, but I appreciated that effort. I don't know, just like every gag and concept as we meet the circus here feels very like circus cliched and first drafty. There's not a lot of nuance to it all,
What do you think of Mace's wife, Midge? Mace, like you said, is the guy that's running the show, right? He's in charge of this whole operation. But his wife is there, and at first she's missing, so they gotta look for her. What do you think of that reveal, Film Dylan?
I was pretty stunned by that reveal, I gotta say. I was not anticipating that. A extremely shrunken figure, maybe 2 inches of height, is Mace's wife, Midge. And I don't know how it really struck me at first. I guess I was like, well, we'll see where this goes. I'm not really taken with the concept. It's almost like pushing for something that felt pretty standard, it then like really aggressively swings the, absurdism to the nth degree by having that. There's not really anything like that in Big Adventure to that degree. So I don't know. I was open-minded but skeptical of the inclusion of this character.
It was just like a weird kink or something.
Yeah, what's her sex life like, John?
I tried not to think too hard about the about that aspect.
How do they do it? Do you think she just like she clings onto his dick like a pole?
Maybe, I don't know. She's pretty small. Maybe she climbs inside.
Like in The Boys, she goes down his dick hole.
Yeah.
Oh no,
that sounds terrible.
he shoots her out.
I don't know, man. Some people are into weird shit.
Like a cannon? Like
yeah. That's where they got the inspiration for the cannonball guy.
That looks like a fun job.
Being a human cannonball is more than a job, Pee-wee. It's a career.
The thing is, I was like, oh, well, maybe they have like a platonic, non-sexual love. But later on, she's like, oh, but you can touch me, baby, to Chris Christopherson. It's like, okay, well, what? You're making me think about it now, Pee-wee.
Get out your magnifying glasses to view Midge, the tiniest woman in the world. But please don't touch the midgendice.
That don't go for you, doll.
Don't I know that, baby?
He's a freak, that guy. He's a genuine freak. I want to add, though, among the circus folk, Benicio del Toro is there as the dog boy. I think his name's Duke. He's like the part of their freak show, right? Because, you know, they got all the circus tropes. They got the animal tamers, they got the clowns, the acrobats, and then they got the freak show. And the freak show is pretty extensive at this circus.
Yeah.
They got the fat lady.
You got a bearded lady.
They got the half man, half woman.
Yeah.
And they got the pretzel woman, the flexible woman.
The mermaid.
But Midge is really the one that's very impressive in the freak show. Like, if I went to a freak show and I saw all those things, I would, you know, all right, this is about what I expect in a freak show. A fake mermaid, a woman with a fake beard, probably, just a fat chick. But then a little 3-inch woman, that's pretty fucking cool. But like Film Dylan said, maybe that's too far of a stretch, right? You got to suspend your disbelief in these movies, but that's kind of nuts. So I don't know about that one. But if I saw it, I would be impressed.
I think the other reason it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb is because they don't really do anything with it throughout the entire duration of the movie. Like, there's maybe a 1 or 2 gags playing to her size, but it's not critical to any plot point that I can remember. It's sort of just, it's just kind of there. Like, all of the weird physics bending stuff in Big Adventure just kind of fits in because it's so tightly working together like clockwork or serving like a greater purpose to some gag or scene. But she's just kind of floating around in the background of this movie, and it just, I don't know, it always pings on your radar. Like, this is such a strange choice.
Like, that should be the reason that the town hates the circus performers. Like, I think they're just kind of like vaguely racist at the Italian acrobats and stuff. But this, like, Christian town would be like, sorcery. This is the fucking like demon woman here that's in his pocket and ejaculating from his penis. We can't tolerate this. They gotta go.
We do not allow these sexual kinks in our town, sir. Mace, Montana. But yeah, the circus, they do roll through town, right? They say they have a show that night, but I think it's really like a promotional kind of parade they're doing. And they roll through town and are immediately rejected by the townsfolk, despite Pee-wee's best effort to hypnotize them otherwise.
What do you people want around here?
I don't want anything, sir. Mace, Montana, manager of the Cabrini Circus.
Circus? Well, I never.
We're here to give you the best darn show you've ever seen.
Well, we don't want it.
Now, please, everybody, we've worked awful hard to get this show ready for you nice folks.
Save your smooth talking, Mr. Wyoming. We told you, we don't want no circus here. And you show folk ain't welcome in this town.
That's
are
right.
they?
No.
Townspeople! Listen to me. You are getting very sleepy. Your eyelids are getting very heavy. You will enjoy the circus. You will enjoy the circus.
I do think that hypnotism moment is a moment that like stands out for me as kind of like a funny thing when he's like, waving the little thing, you will enjoy the circus. And the guy just takes it and breaks it in half and like hands it back to him. And like, that's that.
You like Chris Christopherson in this movie, Korey? I think he's pretty good.
I mean, he's kind of like a cool presence. Like, he's like a super cool guy, right? Just in general. Yeah. And he's got a sick hat. But I don't really know what he's doing. Like, the whole script for this movie just like seems empty, right? It's just missing something, right? What is the plot of this movie, really?
I don't know, man. He's just wandering around mumbling in a gravelly voice. I'm really not vibing with his presence. I mean, at first I was like, I was thinking at first, like, all right, this is kind of a cool character, but tonally it's a little bit weird and like too straight-laced for the Pee-wee world, I think. And, not to get too ahead of ourselves, but yeah, what does he really do in this movie? He has one moment where he says, all right, I guess we need to like stretch our bounds as a circus and come up with a theme. And he has one sit down with Pee-wee to tell him to follow his heart. So I guess like those are two plot purposes, but I don't know. We'll get to one moment later that really cemented that he's not good in this movie, but I'll save that for when we get to it.
The sex scene with Midge.
I chose to skip that deleted scene.
I don't know what to make of it, kid.
What do you mean, Mace?
Well, Pee-wee, when people don't want a circus, the road just doesn't make much sense.
What do you mean, Mace?
You know, I'm a guy who spent most of his life taking the world's frown and trying to turn it into a smile.
What do you mean, Mace?
It's funny, for the first time, I wonder if that's worth doing.
What do you mean, Mace?
So the circus, they make their parade back to Pee-wee's place. He invites them to stay with them while they figure out what it is that they're going to do. So now Pee-wee's house is very full, right, Jonathan? He's got everyone staying there. His living room is cluttered. His front yard is cluttered. He can't even get into the bathroom. So, you know, things are a little bit chaotic, but he does meet someone very special, right? He meets Gina.
He does.
And he sees her tits and passes out. Like all the blood rushes right to his dick.
Same thing I would have done.
Yeah.
I actually, it's funny, in all my notes, I didn't call her Gina. I actually called her Summer because she has summer teeth. Summer here, summer there. Like I couldn't stop staring at her fucked up teeth this whole entire time in the movie.
My wife is a dental professional, and she was watching this movie, and her first thing she said was she needs braces.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, the woman's physical attributes aside, what do you think of the introduction with Pee-wee and Gina here? Because Pee-wee, he lays on the charm thick.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is the second girl he's trying to get horny with that day. Or is it the next day?
I think it's the next day, but same difference. Within 24 hours.
Yeah. Pee-wee just absolutely is taken aback by this Italian bombshell circus performer.
The star attraction.
Yeah. She's the acrobat. She's the looks. She's the act. She's everything for this circus. Top billed cast. And Pee-wee absolutely digs everything about her.
Gina, Pee-wee. Pee-wee, Gina.
Nice to meet you.
I like it very much around here. It's very beautiful.
So are you.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
I know you are, but what am I? Say it, don't spray it.
Stop it.
Make me.
Stop it. My face hurts.
Killing me.
Pee-wee.
That's my name, Mace. Don't wear it out.
Come on, Pee-wee.
Ciao, Bella.
Oh, thank you.
Pee-wee.
Mamma mia.
Pappy, do you think Pee-wee's pickup lines were working?
No. I mean, they were, but in a frustrating way because they shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
It's like all of the same greatest hits of his, like, Pee-wee-isms from the first movie, like, say it, don't spray it, I know you are, but what am I? You know, like, all that stuff, like, I don't know. I don't know why it would work on her.
It's killing, man.
It's
the Tarzan
crushing.
move sealed the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, every time in this film so far, you go back to look at things that you don't like, you look at what would an 11, 12-year-old boy do and go, oh shit, that makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the way he was communicating with her.
Yeah, I might have even tried this in like second grade, like, you know.
Yeah.
To no success, I'm sure. But
Well,
definitely wouldn't have gotten you an Italian acrobat.
I don't know. You mentioned this, Jonathan, a little bit ago, but it's like he was just with his fiance. We don't know it's his fiance yet, I guess. But like, if this is a movie that 11, 12-year-old boys are supposed to be vibing with, it's kind of crazy that it's just like, oh yeah, this character is going to be across time and space in all these different movies is just a fucking like cheater and just not like a good guy like at all. That's crazy. Like, why is Pee-wee like that? If he's going to annoy everyone in town, he should at least be loyal. I don't know.
His hormones are just going wild, man. He just doesn't know what puberty is yet.
Yeah, I think it's just hitting him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he meets Gina, you know, he's talking to Mace, and he takes Mace back to his greenhouse, and he shows him his true passion, which is agriculture. Very interesting stuff for children, I'm sure. He can make cantaloupes giant. He can make his tomatoes giant. He has secret chemicals and serums that he applies to his agricultural endeavors. But his greatest invention, Pappy, is a hot dog tree, right?
Mm-hmm. Pap dog tree. And I was impressed by this. I would love to have one in my house.
I'm sure you would.
That would be amazing.
Just go out there and bite off a glizzy whenever you need one.
Yeah, oh yeah. Water the plant with some garlic sauce too, just to make it extra tasty. The weird thing about this greenhouse is that this feels out of time and place of like the rest of the movie too, right? Like he's got like an electronic touchpad. It looks like it's in the fucking future. Like I didn't realize Pee-wee was a genius inventor.
And the whole town is like driving Model Ts and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. He's like, he says he went to community college for agriculture. It's like, wow, must have been a really good program, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow. I call this the hot dog tree. Because, well, it's a hot dog tree. See that space right there, Mace? That's where my Nobel Prize is gonna go.
I've never seen anything like it. You got ideas in here that nobody's ever had before, Pee-wee. Really big ideas. I need one of those.
Help yourself, Mace.
Not a hot dog. I need an idea. Something brand new. An idea so big and so new, it'll knock people right off their feet. And bring a spark back to the Cabrini Circus. I got some thinking to do. Thanks, Pee-wee.
This inspires Mace a little bit, and we see kind of what his idea is later. But Mace sees what Pee-wee is doing, and he says, you know, I need to do something like this. I need to think of a big idea that's going to really turn my show around and get the people interested again, because obviously the people in this town are not interested in the circus in its current state. So Pee-wee heads off, Jonathan, to his lunch date with Winnie, but is very quickly sidetracked by a scantily clad Gina, who's looking pretty good, and they go ride some elephants together.
Yeah, cue record scratch there. I'm not going on that date with Winnie for an egg salad dog shit sandwich. I'm going to go make out with Gina and ride some elephants into the wilderness. Waterfall scene in the beautiful green lush meadow. I'm sorry, I'm going to.
What'd you think of this scene, Jonathan? You think the kiss was too long?
Yeah, it was awkwardly long. I mean, that's probably got to be like, what? I mean, it felt like it's got to be 45 or 60 seconds of them just making out.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Do we have actual numbers on how long that was?
So according to the documentary Pee-wee as himself, for some reason, Paul Rubens wanted this to be the longest kiss in film history, and it was. It's probably been beat since then, when this was made in 1988, but I think he thought it would be funny.
It was just not funny. It didn't hit for me.
A lot of people wrote a lot of funny things about Pee-wee's relationship to Dottie in Big Adventure.
There's a lot of things about me you don't know anything about, Daddy. Things you wouldn't understand. Things you couldn't understand. Things you shouldn't understand.
He doesn't seem like he likes his girlfriend, or seems like he's trying to get away from her, and you know, all different things. So I thought, okay, what's the flip side of that? Pee-wee definitely has a big libido in Big Top Pee-wee. I decided to really amp up the romantic side of Pee-wee Herman. One thing that I was focused on for a while was Pee-wee's kiss with his leading lady would be the longest kiss in screen history. Something that I hoped would be funny, that it just kept going and going and going. I had, until this point, had a huge amount of control and a lack of interference or input from people I was working with.
There was some wrangling with the studio over the duration of his painfully long kiss scene, because he had Final Cut rights. They couldn't shorten the kiss scene. And it created a situation where he could afford to be arrogant about it. There was some self-sabotage in it, with him controlling every element of the film.
Pappy is a very long kiss with a very slow zoom out and then zoom back in funny.
Again, this movie is 86 minutes. Like, what is that percentage? Like, over 1% of the movie is just this kiss? Like,
at least 10% of this movie is Pee-wee being horny.
That's fucking crazy. No, I hate it. And I don't know who this scene is for, unless it's for those 11-year-old boys who are like, where this part of the VHS is going to get worn out. If you know what I mean. I don't.
Rewind, forward, rewind.
Yeah. It's not funny. It's actually quite annoying. It looks like it has been beat, by the way. The current longest kiss set to the screen is 6 minutes and 44 seconds. Kids in America, between Stephanie and Gregory. So, didn't even get to keep the record.
That also sounds like a waste of time.
Yeah, too much. Keep it short.
It is during this scene that Winnie walks in and kind of witnesses this. There's a couple like moments in between as well, like where the townspeople are like rejecting the circus folk, right, Pappy?
Yeah, is that where they're kind of like vaguely racist to the Italian brothers, and we start to get some of the undercurrent. What is their last name, by the way? Does anyone have
the Papacook?
The Piccolo Poopola brothers.
Piccolo
the Pupukaka brothers?
The Pupukaka brothers. Yeah.
Is that the humor we're dealing with? Is that where we are?
Funnier than this movie. The seeds are being sown, Korey, for a beautiful polycule to blossom between them. Because he does the grocery shopping, and they're very grateful.
We need some supplies.
Oh, you do you?
25 pounds oatmeal.
We don't have any oatmeal.
40 yards of twine.
We're all out of twine.
30 can of tomato soup.
We don't carry soup.
What's all that?
Sorry, we're closed.
Closed?
Come on, get. Don't you people speak English?
It's Antonio. Come on. Dai, andiamo.
Let's go.
Andiamo, Antonio.
How'd you make out?
What's the matter with you?
Well, where's the stuff? What happened?
What?
Looks like you boys got the welcome wagon treatment too.
I don't believe this.
Que bella.
Ah.
Don't bother, lady. They are close.
Closed at 3:15.
It's close to us anyway.
Are you folks with the circus?
Lucky guess, cutie. Looks like we got a regular Einstein on our hands.
You shouldn't be so hard to the beautiful lady, Mitch.
Oh.
sì, che bella.
I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't take it out on you, honey.
Oh, that's okay. Here, why don't you give me your shopping list and I'll go in for you.
Gee, that'd be swell.
The townsfolk, they won't serve the circus folk, like I said. It might have to do with like the clowns showing up in like full clown costume, or like one of the circus folk being like a dog hybrid, like a mutant dog man. Like,
you would have thought the bearded lady would have shaved to go into town or something. You know?
Or wore a hijab or something, you know.
Do you think the townspeople hate the circus folk more than they hate Pee-wee? Or do they hate Pee-wee more?
Oh, they're all in the same bucket. But, you know, they might hate the circus folk more, though, because I suspect they are racist.
they're slightly tolerant of Pee-wee existing, at least.
They don't want no damn Italians in their town.
Yeah, at least they sell Pee-wee lunch. You know, they're not willing to do that for these rogue travelers.
Yeah, they get him his goddamn pickle.
Dude, honestly, watching it back, it's more than just like some subtle seeds are being sown. Each one of these brothers, in turn, eye fucks Winnie, and then they form a human ladder to help her get up in the truck, and then surround her with cuddles. There's a lot going on here, Kylo. I don't know if I like it.
And Winnie is loving it.
That was the inspiration for that, one casting couch scene with like the 5 big black dudes and the one little blonde chick.
That one's my favorite.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Our favorite.
So after Winnie catches Pee-wee and Gina, Gina's pissed, so Pee-wee's kind of ruined things with both the women in his life. Winnie runs away, Gina is not talking to him, and Pee-wee spends like kind of the next few scenes trying to talk to Gina to try to make up, to explain things, but she doesn't want to talk to him. But this is where Mace reveals his big idea with the circus. What's their new act going to be, Film Dylan?
Yeah, he's got a big idea as inspired by the existence of the hot dog tree, which is that instead of just a circus, let's make a farm-themed circus, which is terribly unexciting, I gotta say. I would much rather see a standard circus than a farm-themed circus. I was immediately thinking this is a bad idea for business and will not trump the racism of the town that they're in.
This is the only way to overcome racism. I disagree.
You gotta extend an olive branch, right? Yeah. Try to speak to the people in their roots. I don't know. There's 2 things I want to say about this real quick. This scene where he reveals what's going on as far as the circus goes. 3 things, actually. So I kept my notes pretty sparse. At this point, I wrote, all of my notes have been just like things about the plot, things about my thoughts of different choices. But I wrote, quote, "This movie is terrible, man. I'm begging this to end," at this point in the movie. I gotta say, that felt very true from then to the rest of the movie. But there's 2 parts here I want to acknowledge. First is they randomly start rhyming in this scene. Did you guys pick up on that? There's this moment where like they start rhyming in the banter. I don't know if that's supposed to be like I'm busting a laugh at that, but I just found it to be a kind of an annoying decision.
We've been putting this show on for a long time now. Well, that's all over. We're putting on a brand new show.
What kind of show, boss?
I'll tell you what kind of snowball. A show that'll stand the world on its ear. A show that'll make them all stand up and cheer.
A show that'll knock them all down on their rear.
Quiet down, Snowball. Macy's sincere.
That's right. What I got's a brand new idea. It came to me today like a bolt of lightning. We got Pee-wee Herman to thank for the whole thing.
Welcome, everybody.
What's the idea, Mace?
Put together a show with a theme. There it was, right under my nose. First thing tomorrow, we start working on it. The Cabrini Circus presents the American Farm.
But the real thing that made me go, all right, Chris Christopherson is not good in this movie, is he clearly butchers a line and they just keep it in.
Yeah, dude.
He does. What is going on there? Like, he fumbles a line and corrects himself halfway through it, and they're like, yeah, that'll do. Keep that take.
I'll tell you what kind of snowball.
They have no respect for his performance to even give him a second shot.
He calls Snowball Showball.
Yeah, Showball, we're going to give him a snow or something like that.
Yeah. He doesn't even roll it. Yeah, he goes Showball. Snowball. Like, he just tries to fix it. They thought they would have fixed it in post, and they just left it in. It's crazy.
The director's like asleep. Like,
I could not believe this.
No one said cut.
People stutter and make mistakes in real life. Maybe they wanted to leave some, realness to it. Since everything else was so fucking obscure.
I like to think about authenticity in Pee-wee Herman, yeah.
The smooth talker Mace isn't the guy to represent that little bit of reality with.
We want a 3-inch fairy wife, but we also want authentic dialogue in this Pee-wee movie.
The troubles of conversation should be existing in parallel with that.
Well, I mean, speaking of troubles, Pee-wee is having a lot of trouble making up with Gina. So he talks to his VP, Vance, right? And Vance gives him some good advice. He tells him the one thing that women cannot resist is the romantic approach. And you think that's not going to work, but it actually does, right, Jonathan? Pee-wee tries the romantic approach.
Yeah. So it was kind of a weird thing because Pee-wee decided before he went back to really go for that romantic approach with Gina, he goes back to Winnie and tries to make up with her and apologize. It's like he realizes he ruined everything with Gina, and so he's going to go to the fallback, right? Go back to plan A.
Oh, is that what you were picking up? He was
yeah.
He was trying to get back together with her?
I think so. And then so he shows up to go back for his, daily lunch and shit egg sandwiches, and guess what? Winnie's already there with the 4 Cockapoo brothers.
Piccolo
and engaged.
Poopla.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then she's fucking engaged to all 4 of them at the same time. Like, what a weird fucking weird relationship. Like, who's gonna cuck who in this fucking relationship?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it, man. How do you be engaged to all 4 of these guys?
How do they get down, you think? 1 at a time or 3 at a time?
Yeah, who's getting sloppy seconds? Like,
dude, and Vance says something extremely sexual where he's like, when he's trying to cheer up Pee-wee, he's like, well, listen, it took 4 men to fill your place. It's like, Jesus, dude. Like, what are you saying? Pee-wee is the Pee-wee of 4 men? Like, is that what what do you mean?
I don't know.
What's he saying about Italians? It's messed up.
This movie does have an anti-Italian agenda hidden within it, yes. No, you're right. Her being with 4 guys. As a kid, I was just like, whatever. But when you get older, you think about that. And you think about it too much. And you think about things like Midge. It's all wrong, man. It ain't right.
It ain't right. And that's 4 times as many egg salad sandwiches, too. Dude, she's going to go broke feeding those boys.
Please, Gina. I'm too young to die.
You know what you are?
I know how you must feel.
I'll tell you what you are. You're the lowest of the low. Even lower than that.
I know I deserve this, okay?
I'll tell you what you deserve, Mr. Lover Boy.
Okay, look, Gina. I can't blame you if you never want to speak to me again, okay?
But you were talking about him making amends to Gina. He's got his accordion.
So he did try to swoon her, I guess, with an apology by singing an Italian song and playing this Italian style accordion. I'm guessing that's probably the heritage for it.
It was like old timey as shit. Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't like an accordion that I'm used to seeing, which is like a Mexican accordion, from like the mariachi bands.
It's not like
stuff.
a Weird Al style either.
Yeah. Oh, definitely not like that. Yeah. So she just starts berating him and yelling Italian curse words at him and shit. And
I think she breaks a bottle in half and points it at him, and he's like, "I'm too young to die."
Yeah, seriously. Like it was romantic yet violent yet I don't know. He was persistent in trying to make sure that he wins her over, but I guess Vance was right.
He has to drop the bomb. He has to tell her that he loves her.
Yeah,
he's known her for a day and a half,
24 hours, 36 hours.
Women can't resist it when you tell them that, and he knows it.
Yeah, he really love bombs her here. I got to say, I don't know what they see in each other. I mean, we've got they look at clouds the same way. Oh, nice. That's the foundation for a successful relationship. And she's Italian. I guess that's the draw for him.
That's true, because Winnie didn't see the cloud, like the train going into the station, which I think Pee-wee was just trying to...
Yeah, that was another innuendo, too.
Yeah, we know what he means by that. Don't worry, if you didn't get what he means by that, the movie will make it very clear what they mean by that shortly, within about 10 minutes here. Or less than that. 2 minutes from where we're currently talking about.
Look, that cloud right there looks like an Indian riding a buffalo.
Which one?
That one right there. That one right there looks like a train going into a tunnel. You can see that, can't you?
No, not really.
That one looks like an automobile, yeah?
Yeah, look, it's pulling right into a gas station.
Yes. What about that one? What does it look like to you?
It looks like a man and a woman.
Kissing.
But I don't know, man. You always give some benefit of the doubt to movie relationships. They got to develop fast. But genuinely, there's like not a single spark between these two people. Like I couldn't tell you anything besides the cloud thing that like makes remote sense for why they're getting into each other.
No, absolutely. That's the truth of it.
Like kissing for a long time. That's all it takes sometimes, what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's true. If you kiss for 5 minutes on camera, then magically the sparks start flying.
I think Mace paid Gina to like set up this relationship interaction thing so that they could use his property.
Like, Gina, we're going to be squatting on another guy's property. We need you to do the thing again where you fuck him and you act like you like him.
That's not a bad theory, Jonathan, I gotta say.
They just pimp Gina out to whoever they're staying with so they don't have to pay rent and shit. Like,
exactly. I mean, dude, look how much supplies they need. They got all these animals that need food and bathing. They got people. They need supplies to fix their wagons.
That's a solid theory. You know, one of the little things I like about this movie, it's like a quick scene, is when the townsfolk are like spying on what's going on at Pee-wee's farm. And you got Happy Gilmore's grandma with like a soup bowl on her head with like corn husks glued to it. They got like the camouflage so they like won't be seen like behind like the fields of corn or whatever. It's kind of stupid that like the hippo chases them away, but I just thought it was funny seeing how like decked out they were. Like even like the not Happy Gilmore's grandma, but the other old woman.
Yeah.
She has like a crocheted hat that has like corn like crocheted into it. Like if like
Where
like,
are these people? Like
she,
in fucking Nebraska or something?
She crocheted this hat with like an image of corn on it. Like,
was it KORN?
No, not like the word corn, but like like Jonathan Davis on it. Like, this is way before corn.
Oh.
Anyway, I thought that was like mildly funny. You know, in a movie with a lot of stuff that isn't funny, I kind of cling to the few things that are, I find. Speaking of things that aren't funny, Film Dylan. Pee-wee and Gina have kind of made up now, and she is helping him find his place in the circus. He needs an act, right?
Yes, indeed. He needs an act, and he tries quite a few, and he sucks at all of them. He can't do anything in this circus. He can't swing around, can't ride a horse, he can't fit in with the oddities. He order just sits in a chair and makes some random noise at the end of it. By the way, one of the few pops of color in this movie is that oddity scene where they're kind of like bathed in green and blue light, which I appreciated. Something that wasn't just like this kind of stale, lifeless imagery.
It's almost like Tim Burton came back, right, for that moment.
Yeah, he filled in for a half day on set, got that done, and went back on his merry way. But
yeah, it's like he was on lunch the whole rest of the movie or something.
He's eating those egg salad sandwiches.
Well, he didn't direct this one.
Yeah, I wonder what the story behind him not wanting to direct this would be, because it's pretty shortly after Big Adventure. I know he pretty quickly moved on to some bigger and better things, but it wouldn't have surprised me if he wanted to keep working on this.
I think he was busy working with Michael Keaton on some obscure early 90s movie.
Yeah, some superhero thing
He was
that nobody
doing-
really watched.
Yeah, he had Beetlejuice going on and then Batman, absolutely.
This just feels like a world he would want to revisit. I mean, it's so up his alley. It would have made perfect sense for him to make 3 more Pee-wee movies. So if this one was pretty quickly getting the green light, I mean, maybe it's just a scheduling thing with Batman and Beetlejuice and all these big ones coming down the line, but I mean, it's so his sensibility.
I feel like, though, he would see the script and be like, I don't know, man.
It's pretty fucking rough.
I guess that's it. Yeah, I'm lending him too much credence as far as like having influence on what the actual story and content of this is. It would be his visual flair and timing and stuff like that. But yeah, there's not much meat on the bones here.
Based on script, he'd probably have a hard time figuring out whether he was filming a porno or an actual movie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's a big difference between a Phil Hartman written script and a Paul Rubens written script. I think we see that on display here. Like, even in the Freaks show, as good as it looks, like, what's the punchline there? Like, what's the joke? It's like a 2-minute scene where you see the Freaks we've already seen the whole movie, and then it just cuts to Pee Wee and he goes, "Arr," or something. Like, it's really, really lame and not funny.
Like, the reveal is supposed to be like he's a normal guy, actually, but he's kind of like not a normal guy. So
yeah, like an anti-joke.
It's like somewhere in between.
It is tangling up in its own logic there. It definitely doesn't land the plane. I would agree.
What's this all about, Andy?
What? Human oddities from around the world. Zelda, the bearded lady, a tragic victim of her own hair bones. Ruth and Dot, the Siamese twins, never alone, chained for life. They share everything, their pain, their pleasure, their pelvis. What you see before you now is a hermaphrodite, half man, half woman. Say hello to Shim, the only creature on Earth who can legally marry Shimself. Judy the mermaid, half beautiful woman, half flounder. And finally, a being which defies description.
Yeah, and I mean, what you mentioned with the writing change, this movie does really change everybody. We've got new costume designers, we've got new production designers, like everybody that made the first movie magical, with the exception of Danny Elfman and Paul Rubens, kind of abandoned ship here. So it's no wonder that it kind of loses that whimsy and tone.
I mean, Paul Rubens did a lot with the character of Pee-wee, and he had a lot of creative decision making on it. But when it came to this particular movie, he was actually a legitimate producer on it, and he had a lot of control as to what happened. And they talk about that in the documentary. He's saying how, like, I was a lot more hands-on on this movie. And ultimately, I think that's to the movie's detriment. You know, sometimes you got to let the creative forces do their jobs.
On Big Adventure, I feel like I didn't get recognition for my creative role, and I wasn't going to let that happen again. I was always obsessed with circus movies, and I was excited about the possibility of making my own. Immediately, the circus seemed like a good world and a good backdrop.
Well, what about this? What if Gina's doing an act?
I hired George McGrath from season 1 of Pee-wee's Playhouse to co-write the movie with me. And we screened a lot of circus movies and then sat down to try to figure out what was mine. The circus, it's rooted in reality, and yet it's a world of make-believe, of fantasy, of flash, and magic. I've had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to just go do my thing. I had made a movie. I had a hit TV show. The studio pretty much said, go with God. Do what you want. Somebody came forward and started to campaign to direct the movie. A director named Randall Kleiser, who was a very talented filmmaker. He had made a little movie called Grease. I was officially producing the movie, which I hadn't been doing on Big Adventure. And I was very, very involved as a producer. I am not a very trusting person. I'm not a very go-with-the-flow kind of person. I'm like a person who wants to control things. I asked, could I breathe down your neck a little bit, Randall, while you're directing it? And he was open to that idea. Yeah, it sounds so familiar. The biggest collaborators of mine from Big Adventure were not working on the film, but I wanted it to be fantastic and live up to the expectation or go beyond that.
In the documentary, is he like looking back on this like proud of it and proud of the control he exerted and thinks it turned out well, or does he have any sort of semblance of like, yeah, this one didn't work?
It seemed like his position was like he thought he made a really great movie, and then it came out and people were like giving him kind of like unusual compliments, like, oh man, the sets in that movie were really good. And like he was, his friends and family were saying things like that, and then he realized, oh shit, this movie sucks. And he talks about how the first review he saw called it Big Flop Pee-wee. And like, of course, that was like some like must have been some Gene Siskel line or something, But yeah, he felt like he made a good thing, but didn't like that it wasn't received well. I don't think he looks back at it as a piece of shit. Probably hard to do that. It's hard for me to look back at some of my bad podcasts as a total piece of shit. Sure.
You've never done a bad podcast, Korey.
Independence Day.
It's just like, it is though. It's like we have this beloved family children's classic, Big Adventure. And it's like, well, how do we want to pivot it? Let's take away any of the joy of everybody liking Pee-wee, making them hate him, and let's make it hornier. It's like, if anyone came to you with that idea, you'd be like, no, maybe not hornier, maybe scarier. We could try something else. It's just a weird. If he had more creative control and that's the way he wanted to take it.
Well, I don't remember if I said this earlier, but Paul Rubens in that documentary said people wrote a lot of things about the relationship with him and Dottie in the first movie, that like Pee-wee was kind of like a jerk to her, or Pee-wee didn't seem sexually interested in what seemed like his girlfriend. So he said he wanted to make sure it was very clear in this movie that Pee-wee had a libido. And I think he did make that clear. But I think it's better that it wasn't clear in that other movie. Like, that's just not what he's into, Like, like I said, he's too cool for women in the first movie. He's got shit going on.
It's a bit of a doth protest too much. Like, no, he loves women, you guys. Like, no, I promise. Like, look at how much he loves women in every scene. I don't know.
Well, it was something that I remember reading as well. I was doing like a little bit of reading about this. So Paul Rubens contributed to the writing on Big Adventure, and he has a quote where he's talking about how they did the writing for Big Adventure, and he says, I'll just read the quote here. He says, "It's a 90-minute film. It's a 90-page script. On page 30, I lose my bike. On page 60, I find it. It's literally exactly what they said to do in the book," which he's referencing Sid Field's screenplay, which is like one of those kind of screenwriting Bibles. And they says, there should be a MacGuffin kind of thing, something you're looking for. And I was like, okay, my bike. So it's like he knew to follow the formula in the first one. Like, keep it simple, keep the pacing, hit the beats, and you can really make it sing once you just have that basic narrative structure down. And so it's so funny that like after he nails that, they're like, nah, all right, let's just ignore all of those rules. Let's not have any conflict until 45 minutes in. Let's, it totally eschews the formula. It's strange. It's strange, that pivot.
I mean, I gave in at a certain point. I was just beside myself that something I'd worked that hard on and thought was so good was, it fell out of my reach. So the movie was completed, and Paramount threw a circus-themed party for the premiere. And I was sitting at a table, and all these people that were my friends and acquaintances and people I'd invited came one by one up to the table. After the 10th person came up to me and said, wow, the sets were, wow, it was beautiful. I thought, people don't like the movie. I mean, it was like, hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, it was not well received. And I didn't see that coming. And it was the first time in my run of success that I wasn't Midas with the Midas touch. The Monday after the weekend that it opened, I drove onto the Paramount lot, and this sounds like a, made up story, but I drove into my parking spot in the executive parking lot, and somebody was painting out my name as I drove in. And felt horrible and scary and terrible.
This new Pee-wee adventure seems more conventional. Part whimsy, part circus, part love story.
I felt that he'd lost the magic.
Absolutely lost the magic.
We both voted thumbs down on Big Top Pee-wee because we were disappointed to see Pee-wee's magic diluted by the real world.
First review of the movie, big flop Pee-wee. I think I went into shock a little bit and I was really disappointed, and it seemed like a huge failure.
So back where we left off, you know, Pee-wee can't really find an act. He can't find his place in the circus, but he really wants to be involved. And Gina gives him some inspiration. Right, Jonathan?
Yeah, she does.
AKA pussy.
Well, if she didn't actually give him real pussy, she definitely gave him a costume that made him look like one.
Hey now.
You mean his regular costume made him look more masculine?
Dude, it's all such a mess, dude. So Gina's dad was one of the best acrobatic performers in all of the world, or whatever you want to say.
At least in whatever town in Italy they came from.
Yeah, exactly. He died probably tragically doing some acrobat thing, falling off a trapeze with no safety net. Who knows? And basically the dad told Gina one day that she would give his costume to somebody that she loves. And she decides she loves Pee-wee. At least enough to give him the costume. And whether that's enough to just find inspiration to do an act, or she actually really did have feelings for him, she ends up giving him this performance costume, and Pee-wee finds an act and sort of resolves everything with Gina.
Yeah,
at least for the time being.
We see what his act is like a little bit later, but
yeah,
I think one of the things that I think, Pappy, were you talking about this, where the sex scene is displayed by like the train going into the tunnel and etc.
I think Dylan mentioned that. It's very North by Northwest, right? Like
the little horny
penetrating.
montage.
Yeah, fireworks. It's Pee-wee fucks.
There's straight up mud wrestling in that montage, which is an odd choice. There's like bikini-clad mud wrestling in the middle of that montage.
I think it was supposed to be like something random, but I think it should have been something random that's non-sexual to kind of like make the joke work.
Yeah, like every little montage piece that they inserted in there had sort of an innuendo in some way, but like I don't know that you could have replaced it with anything and not still gotten the same message across.
Good morning, Dance.
Morning, Pee-wee.
Beautiful day, huh?
It's okay. My, we are certainly in a good mood this morning.
That, my dear Vance, is the understatement of the year.
Everything seems completely different to me today. The air smells so fresh.
The sky seems a brand new shade of blue. I don't think I've ever noticed the beauty of this leaf. And Vance, have you always been so handsome?
What the?
Who's my handsome little baby? Who's my handsome little baby?
And Pee-wee is rejuvenated. He's like a whole new man the next day.
He's seeing the world like in a whole new light.
He has finally lost his virginity at the age of 28. And he is very excited when he goes to meet Vance in the green room, or the greenhouse. And he kind of comes up with some new chemicals and pours them on the hot dog tree, and it makes the hot dogs tiny, right? It gives it... Is that meant to mean something too?
Hate when that happens.
I got the vibe that, yeah.
Like they,
you know,
he was full of cum.
Yeah, he unloaded his bag, man.
He's had his release, so like the hot dogs are like littler now.
Yeah, he's not all fucking backed up, dude. My notes actually say, now the hot dog tree's hot dogs are shrinking. Can
I just say, though, before the wieners shrink, there's a scene where Paul Rubens inexplicably tries to cradle a giant pig like a baby, and the pig fucking freaks out, dude. Like, that's crazy that they left that in the movie. Like, that pig does not want to be held like that, and he like punches Paul Rubens in the face with his little hooves and shit to get away. It's crazy.
Maybe that's why the townspeople don't like Pee-wee. He's going around fucking their pigs.
He's abusing animals. He did give the horses actual beds, though. That's kind of cool. But yeah, J.D. Vance did not like that scene, Pappy. That animal actor was pissed.
Yeah. Nuts.
Well, it's hard to get 80 minutes of film with one day of shooting.
Yeah, just try it again where you don't do that to the pig. Like, why did that stay in? Why did the fumbled line stay in? Why? I have so many questions.
Jonathan, is opening night for the big Cabrini Circus new show with their brand new theme, of course, Circus Meets Farm. And there's posters being put up in the town. The townsfolk see them, and they're not happy, right? They go right to the fucking cops.
Oh my God, they go straight to the cops. These people are coming, pitchforks and torches.
Literal torches.
It was like it was a lynch mob or something coming for the circus people.
Kill the Italians.
And the freaks. They didn't want any of them to live.
They got a little noose for Midge, like a little tiny, like a dental floss noose.
Yeah, it's made out of thread from Adam Sandler's grandma's doilies.
Yeah, the Korean lace.
Yeah.
This would make a nice noose, wouldn't it? Don't you think, May?
Especially for a 3-inch girl.
Maybe.
So this was such a weird... yet another weird scene where they really need to put on this performance. They're all set up. They're ready to go. The big top's up. The stage is set. The new act has been developed and it's ready to be deployed. But they don't have any fucking audience. Like, there's like 4 people that live in this town. Like, who is this show for, you know?
And they're all like above the age of 80.
Yeah. I just don't get why this was a good choice to put on the show in this town. Like, pack it up and move on. But the show must go on, right? So Pee-wee uses his like hot dog water on all the old people and turns them into like little kids and sends them to the circus. And now all of a sudden they want to watch it because they're little kids. Like, I don't know if that's supposed to be like symbolic of finding their joy in life and going, oh my God, this is so amazing, rather than just being old, miserable fucks. Like, it was just so confusing, so out of place.
Those are the best wieners I've ever tasted.
Congratulations, Pee-wee!
Thanks, Vance. Congratulations to you, too.
Come on, we better get out to the circus!
Circus? Did you say circus?
Why, yes, I did. I don't suppose any of you would like to come along, would you?
They're drinking their 7-Up in the general store. Pee-wee slips them something in their drink, and I think one of the kids becomes Screech, right? Doesn't that happen at some point? So
Dustin Diamond was in this?
Yeah.
Really?
He's one of the kids. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
I think that's Mr. Ryan.
Yeah, I think that's right. But yeah, so now there's an audience for the show.
Dude, Pee-wee totally freaking date raped these guys with mini hot dogs.
He drugged them, for sure.
What is the implication? Do they have all of their memories they had as adults? Are they...
I don't think so. They're not like, fuck you, Pee-wee. They're just like ready to play. And
yeah, they're like, yay, circus.
So we just made a town full of orphans, basically.
This is Children of the Corn. This is how the town in Children of the Corn came to be.
So they just eat magic wieners every 80 years?
You think Pee-wee throwing a tantrum over my cheese sandwich is going to be able to raise this town of children? No way, dude. He's still the least mature. Like, these are now slaves for the circus. That's the scheme. That's where this goes.
They have no choice but to join up after this. Yeah, that's how they continue on. They go from town to town.
Maybe the one little person that they have in the freak show was like the trial experiment for the hot dogs.
I just love that the way we ostensibly defeat the movie's villains is like not actually having them show any growth or acceptance of the circus. Like, now we're just going to bamboozle them with some magic and then, like, movie over. Like, there's no...
Gotcha, bitch.
You would think they would have some sort of nice moral turnaround and everybody be friends at the end, but it's like, nah, we'll play some trickery. We're going to prank them real quick, and then that'll be that.
Well, you can kind of see it where it's like, oh, they lost their sense of childlike wonder. Who's the king of childlike wonder? It's Pee-wee. But who is Pee-wee in this movie? A horny young man trying to bang every woman in town. So it's like, well, stick with the childlike wonder then. To stay on brand here.
How dare you call him a man?
Boy.
Don't assume his identity.
Yeah, child.
The circus show itself, though, is kind of like lame. Because, they're delivering a whole circus performance in movie format. They kind of just like boil it down to like this really shitty like song and dance number.
They literally just like walked around in a circle like a couple times. And that was like the whole entire show.
So it's not like what you would really expect from a circus. But again, they are trying to deliver it in a cinematic way. But I don't think it's particularly good. And I think the most egregious moment of all of them is like when it's going to each character who's singing along. And then it goes to JD Vance. And like they can't quite get the pig's mouth to match the words. So they have to slow-mo the movie at certain times. So like not only is the pig's mouth slowed, but like everything is slowed so it can kind of like fit with the scene. That's a really shitty kind of edit, and I've done that for like memes, but it's kind of okay because memes can be shittily edited. Yeah, it doesn't come together well.
No, you can't do that on film. You can do it on a meme though.
Yeah. And this is like where Winnie in the song officially announces her engagement. She's got the 4 rings and all that.
They're a crazy combination that we all know, but we're a barnyard circus show. Each of us is left truck, as plain as it can be. We all flipped over weenies, like Salad should be.
Each said he was the best one, such choices I abhor. But when I made my mind up, I decided on all 4.
And if at times love gets too hard,
Then start a circus in your own backyard.
with you I want to harmonize.
I feel the same, and now my big surprise.
But also, and more importantly, is we get to see Pee-wee's big act, right? He's been trying to find an act. We don't know what it is, and we finally get to see it, Jonathan.
We do.
Does it pay off for you?
No. This was such a dog shit film scene. Like, so Pee-wee becomes the, what do they call it? Like a tightrope walker?
Yeah, something like that.
And you can tell where they just sort of like stitch the two. I don't know the formal terminology for it, but they literally just hid a platform that he walked on straight across. And because there would have been, slack in the line, there would have been some droopage, whatever. And then so Pee-wee's going across, he's walking completely flat, followed by like a dog, a cat, and a chicken and a rat or some shit. It's almost unwatchable.
It is.
It really was. It was probably worse than the circle song and dance.
What do you think, Film Dylan? Grand finale.
I thought it was absolutely awful. I was not in on this at all. I agree. I would want my money back at this circus. A fact I read at the end of the movie when I was just doing some researching. Guess how long the cast of Big Top Pee-wee allegedly spent doing real circus training for sequences such as this? 18 months. A year and a half. And this is what it brings us. Some camera tricks of them doing it. I'm like, what? Is it just for that scene where Paul Rubens is swinging around in the ring with the horse? Like, that 18 months, maybe we should spend that on, I don't know, a better script or anything of that nature.
A couple rewrites might have done some good. Yeah.
There's better usage of that time.
They could have spent 18 minutes on some better rewrites.
I agree. I really am fully out on the movie at this point. Not that I ever was in, I gotta say. I mean, this movie maybe peaks within the first 5 minutes for me, and it's just downhill from there.
Yeah, the horse flipping a pancake was probably the coolest.
Happy Gilmore's grandma. Well, I never.
I can get behind some of that ever so slightly, but by now it's just... And it's, the exact same thing from earlier where he's doing all the callbacks to the famous lines. It's like, okay, play the hits. Let's have him do the tequila dance on the tightrope. And it just, I don't know, it just made me roll my eyes. I'm somebody who can definitely, get down with some fan service, especially for something that I really enjoy. And for this, it just was like, this is just the rest of this movie isn't working. So when you reach for some of the few things that, were iconic about the first one, it just feels cheap.
It's rough, man. But yeah, the movie wraps up here with Pee-wee and Gina. They kiss once again, and then like the camera kind of like zooms in on them and zooms out, and we get like that Looney Tunes style transition out. And that is Big Top Pee-wee. A kind of a painful movie. And we are going to talk about that in our ratings, I'm sure. But before we get into ratings, final thoughts. Jonathan, do you have any?
I want to know how many kids passed out in the circus scene from them going around and around with the tractors and the exhaust that those things put off inside of an enclosed tent. Like, what parent signed off on that,
Dustin Diamond's parents.
Yeah, and look at him. Fucking brain damaged his whole entire life.
Oh, that's a good point.
He was fucked. No amount of meds could have helped him.
Pappy, any final thoughts?
When Pee-wee tries to get shot out of the cannon, actually the whole part where he's trying to figure out his act, he tries to get shot out of a cannon, he pops out. It looks like that's like a cartoon bit. Like you mentioned Looney Tunes, Kyla, but he comes out in blackface from the cannon. It's like, uh-oh, I've seen that many times in Bugs Bunny. The one stunt, I guess, and I'm sure it wasn't actually Paul Rubens, but there's an elephant hovering over some guy who looks like Pee-wee laying on the ground. And yes. I'm sure it's dug out a little bit, but that's, again, things you'll never ever see in a movie again. That's one of them. They'll never use a real elephant to do a stunt.
That's true, good or bad. You will literally never see that again in a movie with a real elephant.
Weird to
just
see.
Because they don't use real animals anymore. So a visually interesting thing to see and think about. Although seeing it does take you out of the movie.
I also liked the little guy named Andy. I feel like we haven't given him his flowers, but he's a goofy little, I don't know what his act is in the circus, but he feels very David Lynchian in his presence. He feels like a guy who would be in Twin Peaks or something.
I almost feel though that him being in there and then just having nothing to do is almost a bit disrespectful. At least give him something to do as a character. It's just he literally has 3 lines, no plot purpose. He's just kind of floating around in the background for the entirety of this movie. Also, every time they said Andy, it made me think of Andy from the first movie, which is a far better character.
Which character is this?
The little guy. I don't even know what he does. To Dylan's point, he doesn't do much.
There's no way to describe him. There's literally nothing you can point to.
He's the little person who is used as a prop in this movie.
Yes.
Precisely.
Film, Dylan, final thoughts?
I was reviewing my notes. I don't think I really have much else, but I do think it's worth mentioning because we may have undersold it. Just how ridiculous it is that not only is Pee-wee getting caught up in this love triangle, but that he's actively engaged to Winnie. I mean, this is not like they're just courting each other. This is a fiance situation, and I mean that's high stakes for this Pee-wee romp to then just be like, all right, we're all good in the end. We changed to we're getting engaged to. No worries. It's sort of a wild thread in this movie that they really add an extra degree to that I wasn't expecting.
Well, I think the message here is clear. If you're engaged to a woman that isn't quite ready to put out, just get with a hotter one that will. I think that's a message we can take with us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That'll stick with you.
All right, let's get into ratings. We're going to go the rating scale of any scale you want, of course, as in classic Big Dumb Movie fashion. I'm going to go first, actually, and I'm going to give it 3 out of 10 cocktail wieners because this movie is not very good, but there's a couple little moments that I cling on to that like I kind of find funny. Just small stuff, just with like how much these fucking townspeople hate Pee-wee. Like, that's just kind of funny to me, and I don't think it's like meant to be, but I just find it funny. It's very different than that first movie in a bad way, but I don't know, maybe like in a so bad it's good kind of way. I also, like I said, I saw this movie a lot as a kid, and I saw it before the main Pee-wee movie, before Big Adventure, so it was kind of my introduction to Pee-wee in a way. I'm surprised I stuck with it, but I got into Pee-wee's Playhouse around the same time, and I don't know, a little bit of a special place, but not like high up there. It's still only 3 out of 10. The movie mostly doesn't work. It's like really poorly made. There's like very little plot. It's a lot of Pee-wee's romantic interests, which aren't very interesting to see, and just does not have the charm of Pee-wee's Big Adventure by any means. But I'm going to go over to you, Jonathan, next. On any rating scale you want, what's it going to be, man?
Mostly, I'm a little bit upset with you that I haven't been here in like 6 months to record a pod, and this is the dog shit fucking movie that you pick for me to watch and review.
It was almost cop and a half.
I would have preferred.
Okay.
I think you pretty much touched on everything. I'd also like to honorable mention to what Pappy and Film Dylan brought up earlier, which was certain ways that things were filmed you'll probably never ever see again on any future production, like the scene with the elephant, the scene with the lion, certain things like that.
A woman riding a cow.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Definitely not a chocolate milk cow. There's certain lines that I appreciated, I think. But this movie just fucking stinks, man. It really just did. This movie is a lithium battery induced dump truck fire. Like, honestly.
Good one.
So I'm giving it no anything. No stars, no thumbs up, no positive rating, not even a 1% out of 100. Like, fuck this movie. I really hope to never, ever have to watch this ever again. That's my review.
Pappy, you're up.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is pretty bad, Korey. A pretty bad movie. And it also, it seems to me it's beyond bad just as a movie, the context of it, where it seems like they wanted to take Pee-wee in like the Charlie Chaplin or like Ernest direction, where it's like you have this character and then you just make movies of plugging him into different like holidays and or situations and or locations. Like there's literally like a Charlie Chaplin movie where he like goes to the circus and like joins the circus. So I mean, it could have been good, I guess, but this is real bad. And this is, like I said, between the Pee-wee's Playhouse that I watched incessantly as like a little child, and then again like probably when I was around 9 or 10, and Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which is one of my favorite Tim Burton movies, and honestly probably one of my favorite movies of all time. This is an abomination, a pox upon the Pee-wee's Playhouse. I wish I didn't see it. I wish I could unsee it. I'm gonna go with 1.5. I'm gonna go with a regular sized Pap Dog and then a shrunken Pap Dog out of 5. So 1.5 Pap Dogs out of 5.
A shrunken Pap Dog. That's a very small Pap Dog.
Well, listen, to some, but not to all.
To Midge, it might be a big dog.
Right, yeah.
Nah, even a Midge, bro. All right, Film Dylan from the CineStudy podcast. On any rating scale you want, what's it going to be?
You know, Korey, when you floated that we should do this movie, I had a very open mind. I love Pee-wee's Big Adventure like Pappy, and in rewatching it yesterday, I was reminded of how great it is, how chock full of fun gags, fun characters, fun everything it is. And so I went into this like thinking, all right, I'm sure this is not going to be great, but I'm sure it'll be like at least passable. It'll be like, you know, seeing Pee-wee do something is funny, I'm sure. Pee-wee's a fun character. And even that was not true. I mean, I felt I probably have undersold in this podcast in talking about it just how much I despised this viewing experience. I felt no anger during it. I just felt emotionally drained and numb by the end. It's the kind of movie that makes you think, like, you know, somebody picked up a camera and filmed this. Makes me wish that the camera was never invented. It makes me hate the art of movie making. I really, really hated this movie. I mean, it casts aside nearly everything that made Big Adventure great. The zany crafts work. I mean, there's characters that don't speak a word in Pee-wee's Big Adventure that are more memorable than arguably any character here. I mean, I can remember Amazing Larry's 2 seconds on screen reacting to what Pee-wee yells at him more than basically any character's name in this movie. It's stuffed with life, and it has a very simple and effective plot. And here we have a very stale supporting cast, a totally meandering narrative. It's lifeless visually. It really botches the Pee-wee persona by making him sort of this, like, just devious freak throughout this movie. And also, I mean, it doesn't even feel like Paul Rubens has his full heart in it. Like, sometimes it feels like he's really phoning it in. He doesn't dial it up to the same degree in, like, the wacky voices and mannerisms that you're used to seeing. So I feel like we're missing something there. I may have been Alex DeLarge in A Clockwork Orange watching this movie, just, like, forcing myself through it. You could count on one hand how many times I even, like, smirked, let alone laughed at this movie. It's brutal. I don't know what audience it's for. And Korey, I'm going to send you a bill for the $3.79 I had to spend to rent this movie on Amazon, because I feel like I'm owed that. I'm giving this 2 out of 10 egg salad sandwiches. It's genuinely one of the worst movies I have ever seen, I think.
Oh, God.
I'm so glad I didn't pay for it. I watched it on Pluto.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
With commercials. I even watched commercials for this movie.
Oh, God. That would have felt like a 9-hour viewing experience.
Film Dylan is just now Dylan. He's not film anymore.
I've been stripped of the title, man. I can't do it anymore.
He demoted himself.
I quit.
He doesn't like film anymore.
I didn't expect to have this just bridled passion of rage towards this movie. I really thought it would just be, like, fine, but I really did not like this.
Well, that's exactly what I was hoping to get out of you, Dylan. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Korey. I was really looking to, like, beef up the amount of just god-awful movies I've seen.
Now, Film Dylan, you have a podcast of your own. Maybe you can tell the listeners about it and where they can find it.
Yeah, sure. The podcast is CineStudy. We're a little sparse on episodes right now as we fight the good fight on some copyright stuff with Spotify and potentially other services. It's been a while since episodes. I'm a little, few and far between on episodes sometime, but the last episode we did was a really fun Terminator breakdown. So if that's a franchise that piques your interest, a franchise that's reared its head plenty on Big Dumb Movie, you can catch me, Korey, and Pappy talking about that one on CineStudy. All sorts of reviews and breakdowns on there. So check it out wherever you listen.
Agreed. I think anyone in my audience that listens to this podcast that hasn't heard it yet needs to listen to episode 52 of the CineStudy podcast, where we discuss thoroughly all of the live-action Terminator movies. So we go into all the movies and the highs and lows of every one of them. That was a really solid episode.
Very fun time.
Pappy was on that episode. Pappy, where can people hear more of you if they are so interested?
Yeah, another plug for that Terminator episode, because that was a lot of fun. And I've listened back to that a couple times, actually. Really good stuff there. But you can also find me on a podcast called Spoilers, where everyone here has been on. Jonathan, we need to get you back on. It's been a couple years since that Tiger Woods documentary. But if you like Big Dumb Movie, you like Spoilers, and I try to say this every time, to Film Dylan's point, we are fighting the good fight. We are soldiers against big podcasting here, getting taken down by the AI man. So if you can't support in any other way, like this episode, maybe put it on the car when a friend's in the car, share it, subscribe, do whatever you can to help, because we need you, soldier. It's us versus them out there.
Yes, the Joe Rogan fans are trying to shut down any other podcast on that platform. They won't have it,
Mm-hmm.
So we've all been affected, all three of our shows, by Spotify in some way and other platforms, but most recently Spotify has been pretty bad. So that's why I ask you, the listeners, if you like this podcast, please support us by giving us a positive rating and written review on Apple Podcasts. That's the best thing you can do for us. All of my episodes of Big Dumb Movie are available on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud. Most of them are also available on Spotify, and most of them are also available on YouTube, although in some cases I had to edit them down to accommodate YouTube. But I would like you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel anyway, even if you don't listen to us there. Big Dumb Movie Podcast. Give us a sub, leave me comments, write in. My email address is bigdumbmovie@gmail.com. Send me feedback, requests, etc. I always love hearing from you guys, and I appreciate the loyal listeners. I know I don't respond to you guys all the time, but I see you out there. Anyway, that's been this episode. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate my guests, Jonathan, who's in the studio, Film Dylan with the CineStudy podcast, and Pappy representing Spoilers. Appreciate you guys, and to the listeners I say, thank you very much. We love you, and good night.
Big Dumb Movie with your host Korey, breathing in nostalgia in all of its glory. Watching movies like The Terminator. I'll be back with reviews later with some guests. Steve's your savior. Cut the lights, it's showtime. May the force be with you tonight. Dumb movie, woo. How the hell was this movie made? To the right, don't be afraid. Big Dumb Movie, woo.
Come on, get. Don't you people speak English?